everybody. It is a chilly Thursday in Port Elizabeth today. I finally got to put my heater on, which was quite nice, and it helped to turn my purple fingers back into pink, which is awesome. But here we are, warming up not just our fingers, and hopefully you're done scrolling, stop that scroll. And we are here to warm up not just our fingers, but our brains today too. And as you know, Thursdays on Instagram is all about productivity. And if you have been missing out on our Excel sessions that we did during July, I do encourage you to go back and check those out. We did things from VLOOKUPs to pivot tables to if functions, freeze panes, format painter, so many things. Top 5 Excel hacks, but we did something really cool for you, and it's all saved on our IGTV. That's quite the tongue twister if you think about it, don't you think? So you can go check that out, and we've also grouped it under a story highlight. I don't know, all these fancy terms for hashtag Excel Live, so do go check those out. But we are continuing with the theme of productivity here on Instagram today, and we're not talking about Excel. But last week I promised that we would be talking about some productivity hacks during the month of July. Not July, during August. We're in August already, can you believe it? And just to start us out, I would like to chat about battling the email monster, because that is something that can really be overwhelming sometimes, and it can really, that idea of inbox zero can be like a fictitious concept, right? And while the other people have joined, I have to step away one moment while I remove the massive box that's in my bunny cage so that they don't make a noise. Please excuse me, I will be right back. And just in case you don't believe me that there's a massive box, this is what they do. Every time I go on a live session, they start attacking this box. So there we go. Now you have been introduced to our two rabbits. Maybe another time I will show you what they actually look like. Their names are Joey and Snowy, and they really like eating cardboard boxes. So I'm just going to put this back down again. But so today, as I said, we are talking about battling the email monster, and I'm very glad that you can laugh. Oh, let's see. I'll see if I can go fetch Joey for you. He's much more friendly than Snowy. One moment. Here we go. This is Joey. See, they were originally called Chloe and Snowy because we thought that they were both females, and Chloe was like for a grey cloud, so hence the grey, and Snowy white, obviously. But then we found out that they were both males, so Chloe was no longer a good fit. So Chloe has changed to Joey. Fortunately, we have not had any babies. I'm very happy for that. Okay, cool. So let's get back to the point. And you can see, life is full of distractions. Yes, Benevolence, now you've also met Joey. And they might be up and down a little bit here. I see they just ran over my stand that my phone is on. So there we go. That's life, right? And that's working from home. And that is the life of a solopreneur, where we have to do so many things. And email is one of those things that can just take up so much time. And emails, just like chores, fills up the amount of time that we allocate to it. So if we are spending all of our time in our inbox, we are never going to get anything done, because if we are allocating time to it, it's just going to continue growing and continue going. So you might have heard of the concept of inbox zero, as I said before. And today we'll be talking about how we can potentially get to that point. Joey and Zoe are being productive, yes. Joey and Snowy would be the grey one, the white one, Joey and Snowy. But what I'm here to tell you today is that emails do not have to control us. As much as it might currently feel like they do, we are the master of our own destinies, right? And in the same way, we are the master and we are in control of our emails. So you may be more or less able to determine how much time emails will take out of your day. Depending on what position you're in, whether you're an employee or whether you are running your own business, you may or may not be able to decide how much time it takes. But even if you are an employee and you have to spend a lot of time on your inbox, I want to say that there are ways of making sure that you're spending less time. Because at the end of the day, the less time you spend in your inbox, the more time you're actually spending doing proper work. So we really want to get ourselves out of that space and more into a productive frame of mind. So what can we do about this? During lockdown, I heard about this interesting technique called stacking your emails. And this has really been a little bit life-changing for me when it comes to emails. And it has helped to take away some of the anxiety that I might have had around waking up in the mornings and just seeing this whole pile of emails and knowing there's so much stuff that's going unread, spam, and it's just been overwhelming. So what the stacking technique suggests is basically it gives us a few basic rules. Firstly, we stack our email once or maybe twice a day, beginning of the day and maybe at the end of the day, okay, before you pack up. Secondly, you diarize specific times in your calendar that you are going to be working in your inbox. Okay, so I've now mentioned stacking and I've mentioned working. Okay, they've got slightly different meanings. Okay, and then let's chat about what stacking actually means. So the stacking means that we look at all of our emails that have come in and we categorize them into a few groups. Some of the groups that they suggest is things like, I need to reply to this, I need to take action on it, and maybe it's going to take me more than 5 minutes to do, so it goes in that folder. And maybe it's something I need to schedule, so I have to meet up with someone. Maybe it's something that I need to remind myself to follow up with someone else, okay? Maybe it's something that I've been CC'd in, so I just need to remember to review this. Or maybe there are sometimes things where I need to start grouping emails. For example, in my case, I have a whole bunch of emails that come through for marketing my business. So when I'm ready to go work on the marketing for my business, I can then go look in that folder. They suggest limiting it, but it's called open when, and then you create a folder for your specific action. Okay. So what the stacking then means is you go through your entire inbox and you just go categorize them into each of those folders. The idea is not to actually respond or to do anything with it. It's literally just take it out of your inbox and move it into the appropriate folder. That is what stacking means. What they also suggest is that we use quick rules, which allows you to send emails very quickly to a folder just using keyboard combinations. Control-Shift-1, for example, sends it to reply for me. And then also at the same time, they suggest that we use the archive tool and the delete option very recklessly. So I have found that that's quite helpful to know that once I've dealt with it, it goes into my archive. I don't have to go worry about filing it anywhere, because if you think about it, even if you have filed it in a specific folder, you're probably not actually going to be looking at it, right? You're not going to go to a specific folder and search through all of those things to find the email you're looking for. You're probably just going to use your search bar, right? So stop wasting time filing all of your emails other than those 5 or 6 folders that I mentioned now, and just go archive them. It's so much faster just doing the search function. From this person, subject this, maybe you even know what the date was on. Awesome. Okay, you can use that. It's much easier. And the reason why they suggest that we group it in these types of folders is because it helps us to be in a specific frame of mind when we are working through our emails. So now I've used the word work, right? So we need to work our inbox. We've already stacked it, and now we need to work it. Now this working time slot, you can decide when it's going to be. Probably going to be more than once a day. Maybe you even decide you are going to spend the morning working through your inbox. Okay, but that is when you start going through each of those categories. Go reply, go look at what there is to do, what you need to review. And if any of those tasks are going to take you more than 5 minutes to do, go schedule it into your calendar. Because then you know you've got specific time designated to it and you're not going to forget about it. So I have found that this has been extremely helpful for me, knowing what it is that I need to do. The reason why they indicate the categories is because you're in a specific frame of mind when you do each of those things. If you think about just normally working through your inbox, you might go reply to one thing, and then there's another thing you need to take action on, and then there's another thing that maybe you don't need now but you need later. And in all of those things, you are constantly changing your frame of mind, and you constantly having to make decisions. And if you're not processing those emails, you are making the same decision over and over again with those emails. So if you're putting it into reply, for example, now you can go reply to all of the emails that are in your reply folder. You don't have to worry. You don't have to now think, oh wait, actually I need to do this and I need to remind myself to do that. No, I'm just replying and I can tick them off quickly. And the same goes for the remind one, for example, or scheduling meetings just with everyone that is in your meetup folder. So I think that's a really cool idea, and I have found that it saves me a lot of time and a lot of stress as well. But you do need to make sure that you are setting out your times and you are saying 8 until 8:30 in the mornings, I'm going to be stacking, and then maybe 10 until 12, I'm going to be working in my inbox if that is what it requires. Okay, so I really want to encourage you to go think through that sort of process, and in the links in our comments below, we will just add in the website where this comes from, and you can go have a look. They've got detailed videos that you can go work through that explains all of these concepts that I've just touched on now. So let's see, is there anything else I would like to add here? I think just to finally sum up this part is to say, at the end of the day, it's about finding a system and a structure that works for you. And it's going to look different for every person, and it's going to look different for different industries as well. And depending on what position you're in, obviously it will also make a difference. So this is not necessarily the silver bullet, but myself and a lot of other people that I've referred to this technique has found a lot of benefit from it. So I really want to encourage you to give it a try and see if you can finally get to that inbox zero. Okay. And I was talking about like doing the search function, and you saw how easily I got distracted this morning. Or this afternoon, we're afternoon already. Which leads me on to next week's topic. And staying in line with this productivity idea, we are going to be talking about distraction control and how to make sure that you are really utilizing your time effectively and getting rid of all of the white noise so that you can actually get into that space of deep work, as they call it, or into the zone. You know, that's where we are most productive. So we'll be chatting about that next week. But in the meantime, you can find us on Facebook tomorrow, where we will be talking about what the right things are to focus on in your business. So come check that out at 1 p.m. on Facebook. That's going to also be an awesome session. Super excited about it. And just a final reminder, next week we have our first official webinar coming up in our training academy, and we are going to be digging deep into your balance sheet. And it's not just going to be about what is the balance sheet, because boohoo, that's boring. We'll also be talking about what a balance sheet should look like what is the ideal picture. And we'll also be looking at how you can actually use that balance sheet to your benefit. So if you have joined up with any of our webinars during June and July, you qualify as a founding member, which means that your monthly subscriptions are locked in at 200 Rand per month. Okay, that is awesome value. And how it's going to work is you're going to have 2 sessions during the month. The first session will be all content, which really will be like a normal webinar, and then the second session will be an application one, in which you have the opportunity to be coached, to sit in the hot seat, to ask those questions based on the homework that I gave you, and really just get to grips with what is happening in your business specifically. So definitely worth checking out. If you missed out during June and July, do not fear, you are still welcome. Everyone is welcome. For the month of August, the rate is going to be 250 Rand for the monthly subscription, which gives you access to both those things. Okay. Unfortunately, you will have to pay in a little bit extra if you're wanting to access any of the webinars we did during June and July. Whereas for founding members, you will be able to have access to that for life for free. You know, mahala, we like that. Okay, and I just want to remind you that we will be gradually increasing the price as we go of this membership. So make sure that you lock it in as soon as possible to make sure that you are saving lots of money. Okay, so I think that is a lot to take in. We'll pop the link in the comment below about the stacking technique, and hopefully see you tomorrow on Facebook. Otherwise, we'll see you here again next week, same time, same place, as we talk about distraction control. Okay, so that's me. Keep warm with the cold front that is currently happening, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.